Welcome back, beautiful collective, and thank you so much for joining me here, guys. I hope you're all doing super amazing, collective. Now, I've got the gemstones here, so I want to see what the collective energy needs to know, what will benefit the collective energy knowing. Live in the now. Clear the clutter with selenite. Moonstone to live in your purpose. Unakite to live in the now. Amazonite to loosen your grip. And blue lace agate to find your calm. Okay, don't be hanging on to things. Find your peace. Find your calm place. Okay, and live in your purpose. Clear the clutter. Pyrite to let the money flow in. Lemurian quartz to practice patience. Be patient with yourself, I'm hearing. And labradorite to see the magic. Forgiveness, living in the now, taking the lead. Communicate, avoiding drama. Drama from the past. Trusting your instincts, your intuition. You may have cut your losses. Okay, now it's like you're cleansing your energy. You're cleansing from the past. And now it seems like you're attracting help here. Okay. It takes a strong person to accept responsibility. Okay, it takes a strong person to accept responsibility for their past. And it's about forgiveness. Seeing what we did wrong, the mistakes that we made. We cannot change others, but we can change ourselves. You know, it's like we don't have the power to change others, but we do possess the power to make change for ourselves. And the best way to make change is by forgiving. So that we're not carrying that around with us. Just saying. And I think now that you've done that, or you're reaching for that position to do that forgiving, you are attracting in helpful people. You are attracting in, it's like it releases those blocks. It releases emotional blocks, which our emotions are tied to our finances. So if there was an emotional blockage, it may, when we block our hearts, it also blocks other things from coming in. Why it's so important to find forgiveness. Doesn't mean you got to be their buddy. It just means you've reached a point in your life where you're willing to let go. And where you're willing to have forgiveness. But this is for trusting your intuition. And accepting responsibility for your role in things, Forgiving yourself and forgiving others. You're attracting in new helpful people and attracting in... You're removing your blockages. And unforgiveness is a blockage. That's why we need to forgive. Avoid drama. And maybe somebody is full of drama and somebody is carrying around that baggage. And it takes strength to forgive. So, look, there is somebody here. This is the King of Cups. Got a bunch of emotional drama here. Maybe over a third party. I don't know. Ooh. Is there a karmic empress? Or maybe they put an empress in some kind of karmic situation. I don't know, just to keep you stuck in a karmic cycle? Like you don't want to be in that cycle with them. It took courage and strength to break free of some karmic cycle. It took courage and bravery and knowledge and trusting your intuition. Is this a karmic family? Well, that's what I think they did. This is a karmic cycle. Like you are trusting your instincts, your intuition. And maybe it's about accountability. Accepting accountability. This masculine has to take accountability. Well, both people do. Both people got to take accountability. Somebody is like asking for help here. So, what is going on? Somebody, you're in the law of attraction. Seems like you're attracting a new soulmate. Look. This is joy, this is happiness, this is respect, staying in your integrity, this is confidence, healing. I think somebody wants what you have. Like, why is someone so angry and resentful here? It's like they were wishing they were you, or wishing that they had what you had. Like they're carrying on a bunch of past baggage here. Someone can't handle the fact that you've changed, and they can't handle the fact that you're in your integrity, you kept your integrity, that you're healing, and that you're happy, and that you're confident, and you're in the energy of the law of attraction. That you found your purpose. Someone's really resentful and angry that you have found your way. Even rejection, abandon, you're still looking forward. And they're, you know what? You're still going. And you're still in the end of, like, you've been abandoned, you've been rejected, you've gone through towers, you've broken cycles, you've had failed relationships. But you still keep going. And you seem to be doing, you still maintain your happy energy. And you still maintain your confidence. You heal. It's like, this is your purpose. Somebody's like, I want to be like you. Like, how do you do this? Like, they can't do what you do. It's like your heart space is wide open here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, look. Because you stay in your integrity. Look at this beautiful energy. It's like you stay in your integrity. Now look, you're divinely guided. other people over here, and there's more than one, there's several people here that have been judging you. Like, you faced judgment, you faced rejection, you faced abandonment, you faced broken relationships and towers and financial tragedies, and you still managed to put on a smile. You still managed to put your best foot forward. You still managed to outshine people, and you're not even trying. You're just in the energy of gratitude and thankfulness, and you are attracting all this beautiful energy towards you. And someone else is over here bitter, angry, holding up baggage, like it's me, me, me. That's selfish, wallowing in their misery, wallowing in self-pity, victimhood, not taking accountability that they got themselves where they are, and you got yourself where you are. Yet you may have faced a lot of the same trials and tribulations. You've been rejected. You've been abandoned. You've had tragedies. You've had mishaps. You've made mistakes. You've been judged. You've dealt with evil people. You've dealt with corruption and evil-minded people. But you still managed to put your best foot forward. And you still manage to keep your heart space open. And you still manage to just embrace change when it comes your way. Like, I'm not saying that you don't get angry, and I'm not saying that you don't suffer, and I'm not saying any of that. You've been through all the same trials and tribulations as other people. But what's different about you? You still smile. Your heart space is still open. You are still confident. You stay in your integrity. You're not a sellout. And they can't understand you. You've been heartbroken. You've been mocked. You've been hurt. You've been rejected. You've been abandoned. But you still manage to put a smile on your face. You're not going around like woe begotten and looking down at the ground and like crying over spilt milk here. I'm saying you may have done that for temporary, but even then, the worst of the worst, you're still funny. You still smile. No wonder people wonder about you. Well, I was upside down. You've been blamed, you've been accused, you've had the same nightmares, you've had the same stressors. But why is it that you keep going? Why is it that you keep smiling? Why is it that you man, is you're open here. That's what I'm saying. What the heck is this BS all about? You've been betrayed, you've been ghosted, rejected, abandoned, judged, mocked, but you still keep going. Like, what is it about your energy? People are curious about you. Like, what about your energy? It's like everyone's spying on you somehow, judging you, mocking you, rejection, abandonment. What haven't you gone through? What experiences haven't you done and gone through, but you still managed to put you're still smiling. You can still joke around and laugh. You're still confident. You're still got an open heart. You're still loving. You're still speaking and communicating and speaking your truth. Staying in your own lane. Staying in your integrity. What is it about you? You're in the energy of attraction. Attracting emotional strength, happiness, finances, good communication. Look, you could be being vindicated. There is nothing that is gone through that you're not going to be vindicated for and see justice for. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. These people are selfish, looking at their own self-interest. They're the ones pouting. They're the ones feeling backstabbed. They're the ones feeling betrayed. They're the ones who think that only they have these experiences. They're crying over spilt milk. Poor me, poor me. And they can't understand why they don't have your happiness. Why they don't have your confidence. Because they're too busy being miserable. Oh yeah. Think you haven't been hurt? That's what divides followers from leaders. You're a leader. And that's why they are secretly jealous of you. It's their own insecurities. What are they trying to see if they can take you down? You've been depressed. You've been through all of these experiences. And then they want to be jealous of you because you're in the energy of attraction? Does that sound fair to you? And they're wallowing in self-pity and going, poor me, it's about me, it's what about my pain, what about me, what about me? When they can't even see beyond their nose. Like they can't see they must really hate it when you go to their places with smiles on, knowing what you've been through, knowing what you've experienced, all your experiences that you've been through, you still manage to put your best foot forward and keep on a-going. They must really hate your energy. Because these people like to wallow. They sure like to cry when they're hurt. And when they have bad experiences, I don't think they could have survived the way you survived. I'm not saying you weren't sad. I'm not saying you weren't depressed. I'm not saying you weren't suffering and that you weren't in pain. It's just what you do with that. It's how you handle it. You come off so confident, so strong, so happy. They can't understand why they're blocked by holding on to the past. They hold on to the past. They hold on to what hurt them. They hold on to their pain, their suffering, not realizing that you've had the same experiences and probably way more. This is really interesting what Spirit's pointing out. Like, you've had these experiences, you've experienced pain, you've experienced rejection, abandonment, gossip, judgment, mocking, pain, suffering. All these experiences you've experienced, it's what you choose. You've accepted responsibility for your role in things. You have accepted responsibility while saying, Spirit, forgive me. Forgive me, Spirit. I wasn't paying attention to the red flags. I'm sorry, Spirit, I didn't listen to you. I should have listened to you. I acknowledge my wrongdoings. I acknowledge the things I've done wrong in my life. That's the difference between you and them. I acknowledge I've made mistakes. I acknowledge my role in them. I acknowledge, and I'm grateful for the lessons here. Well, somebody else has a similar experience. They want to wallow in self-pity. They want to talk about it for their whole life, like they're the only ones in the world who ever experienced some kind of disappointment or failure or hurt. It's like what you do with that hurt. You can choose to wallow in it, or you can choose to learn from it. You know, that's what I do. Every time I do something wrong, it's usually because I never listened to Spirit. I didn't trust my instincts. I knew better. I just wanted different results. But I always go to Spirit and I always say I'm sorry for not listening. I should have paid attention. All the warning signs were there. All the red flags were there. And I chose to not hear you, and please forgive me, Spirit. That's what I do. Other people have experiences, and they hold on to, like, if somebody hurt them, they hold on for like 20 or 30 or 50 years or a lifetime. I was hurt. Well, you were hurt too. But look what you've done with that. You've chosen to forgive yourself and likely other people. Even though you may have struggled to do so, you know, you're finding a way to just let it go and leave it behind. Now, these people, on the other hand, they can't let go. They can't let go of the pain. They can't let go of the hurt. They can't let go of the anger. They can't let go. You know, when something bad happens to them, It's a major ordeal. Like, to you, it's just another day on the block. You know what I mean? Another day in time in my life where you're like, I didn't pay attention, or I didn't listen. I knew better, but I didn't listen. These people are like, poor me. I'm the victim. I cheated, I lied, I was selfish, I did this, I did that, I did the other thing. But I can't own up to that. They hide it. It's about accountability. It's like, man, yeah, feel sorry for me. Crying over what they no longer have. Crying about, it's not fair. Look at the collective. Look at the collective. Look at the collective. Feel sorry for me. Oh well. When they're ready to take accountability for their own actions and their own way of living, like, everybody has a choice in this world. It's how you choose to respond to it. Because I can tell you, you've had a lot more pain and suffering than most people would ever care to imagine or try to live through. And then they want to sit and talk about you, judge you on top of it, and feel sorry for themselves while they're doing it. Takes a strong person to admit their own guilt, their own accountability for their own lifestyles and their own lives. And I see you completely transparent here, owning everything. You don't just sit there blaming everybody. You take accountability for your role in things. Look. Affirmation after affirmation. Like, people can't embrace change. They can't embrace change. It's how you handle it. It's how you handle your pain, how you handle your stress, what you do about it. You still manage to crack jokes. You still manage to smile. You still manage to be funny. And you're creating your own luck. That's what you're doing. You're not going to create it by not being able to change. You're not going to create it by wallowing. You're not going to create it by feel sorry for me. Playing the victim. You have to get back up. You have to get back on that horse. And you have to keep walking. And you've managed to do that. In a positive direction. Take care.